Kiwi.
102.2 Auckland.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Ads with Simon Pound from simonpound.com.
Indeed, as Simon Pound this morning, we're talking about experiential advertising. Hello to you, Simon.
Good morning, Wammo. How are you, sir?
I am well. What is this idea of experiential?
Well, experiential is a bit of a cover-all term. It can be lots of things that also have other names, like guerrilla advertising, ambient advertising, and promo and PR activities can also kind of fit into this category of experiential. Pretty much, it's any kind of advertising when an experience is involved. It does sound kind of obvious, but that's probably the best thing you can work with. We had Steve Kane from DDB on. He's New Zealand's only experiential creative director. Pretty much every agency tries to bring experiential things into campaigns they do, but he's the only big agency dude who's got the creative director title doing all that. And he came on the ad show, and it was on last night, and he was very entertaining talking about what it is. Pretty much, there's some great examples. Is always the easiest way to have a look at what it is.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola did an example. They put into a college kind of cafeteria area, and so people would come up to use it. But actually, this was like a magic vending machine. The Coke proposition was that Coke was happiness, and so what they were trying to do with this vending machine, when someone went to buy a Coke, they gave them an extra bonus, something that would give them some happiness. Put extra Coke bottles. It was also quite random things, like they were giving lots and lots of Coke bottles out. Then they were doing things like giving plastic animals out shaped like dogs, and balloon animals, and giving out flowers. They gave out all kinds of toys. And then they filmed the reaction of the students, because they'd just gone up expecting to get a Coke, and then they get in there and they're getting all of these magic things out to tell their friends, and they laugh and they're all excited. So there's lots of cameras kind of picking it up. And so the idea is that the experience these people had, like the happiness and the extra surprise, like hands were coming out of the thing at the bottom of the vending machine, they're getting all their friends, was captured and put on the net, and then everyone else would see it. And it was a really good example of experiential, because you didn't need to then put some kind of a end tag on to say what it was for, because you could see it was for Coke, because it's coming out of a Coke vending machine and there's Coke bottles everywhere and everyone's happy. And so the video is lovely, people are laughing and they're surprised, and it's good. So that was a really good example, and Steve Kane, we showed it to him, and he said that the reason he liked it was because you didn't need that end tag put on, and it really fitted with the brand. Another great example that's visually very exciting and it's done very well is this work for Volkswagen about the fun theory. And what Volkswagen was trying to do is they were trying to say that when things are fun, people are more likely to do them. So they went to a train station-y type thing, an underground station, where there was an escalator, and then beside the escalator heading up, there was also some stairs. And they'd worked out that this place in Stockholm had quite low traffic on the stairs, but lots of people took the escalator. So they came in at night, and they set up the stairs as giant piano keys. So they rigged them with motion pads, and then they rigged those motion pads to make the noise like the notes, and then they put notes on, so they were white with the black bits on the end, like a piano.
Yeah.
And so then the people the next morning who would have normally taken the escalators jumped on and went ding dong dong ding dong dong as they went up, and then started to play with it. And so you had people jumping on it, people getting all excited and running up and down them and all kinds of stuff, which was lovely, and it makes for a really nice little video. And you can kind of, if you're on the Ustream, you can see the video, and it's quite sweet.
But what about that? How does that translate to people buying Volkswagens?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, their thing was the fun theory, so they did have a theory behind it all, and they did work quite hard to kind of make this have a link to them. But unless I sit here and tell you that this thing's for Volkswagen, you'd have no idea. And also what they were proving was that if something's fun, people will do it more often, which I don't think you really need to prove. I mean, it's like proving water is wet. There's obviously a good idea in there, but whether it has to be for Volkswagen, I don't know. But it's definitely an experiential thing, because people remember it.
Yeah.
There's a question about whether your experiential stuff has to be perfectly sitting with the brand. Like sometimes, if you swap it around to the major example, like TV, where advertising would normally go, like a TV show and a magazine, that's not always a perfect fit for a brand either. Like TV show is just entertainment, and brands want to be associated with entertainment sometimes. And so if you are just associating yourself with a nice experience, that's good entertainment. So it can just be a nice thing. Another example of experiential was a great piece of local experiential work done by Saatchi & Saatchi for the Rodney District Council. They approached the Rodney District Council and asked them if they could, they had a great idea for, their insight was that when a car crashes during a road safety accident, it has the impact on the car of a whole bunch of grenades going off. And so they actually filmed a car being exploded like a grenade, and then they recreated the second after impact inside a big warehouse. So with lots of bits of string and all the bits of debris, they collected the thousands of bits of debris, thousands of bits of string, and stuck them all around the room. And so it looked like this car would have been the second after impact, with glass flying and panels crunching and a soda cup caught in the air as well. And then they sent bits of debris to local residents and asked them to come and have a look. And it was just this beautiful, arresting imagery. And they shot it beautifully. It was just for Rodney District Council. So
Wow. So there was very much a very local experiential thing, but I imagine that this would have, the bonus, I suppose, is that it catches on and people watch it around the world?
Exactly, that's the thing. Although that was hyper-local, just for Rodney, the beautiful thing when experiential works well, what YouTube has allowed it to do, and Steve Kane actually called YouTube the unofficial broadcast channel of experiential. It means if there is something cool, that they can film it, put it up there, and then people will send other people to it. And so this, that Coke vending machine, for example, only 20 people experienced it in the video, but 2.5 million people have watched it online.
Yeah.
And this grenade work for Saatchi & Saatchi, it's a shame it wasn't for Land Transport, New Zealand Transit Authority, the road safety people proper, because it was a beautiful campaign that more people probably should have seen. It did do quite well at Access, though.
Yeah.
Right.
So those are some examples of experiential advertising. There are a whole lot more examples up on the blog, Simon, as well, simonpound.com, and also you'll find them up at stoppress.co.nz. Simon, thanks so much for telling us about experiential advertising this morning.
Lovely to talk to you, sir.